Good afternoon, everyone. It is October 16th, 2022. This video is a weekly outlook for the Monday to Friday RTH sessions of October 17th to 21st. This week, before we get into all the details, it's important to note that this week, not a lot of news coming up. Uh, we've got some Empire Manufacturing tomorrow pre-market, some minor CPI, a little bit important, but not the hugest impact on American markets. The Great Britain CPI numbers Thursday, some unemployment pre-market, home sales, and then again some Great Britain numbers in the afternoon. Now, before we get into the actual zones, I want to pay more attention to the volume profiles that we've been setting up. Now, this profile is running into the first time we came back into the lows of the year around late September. And you can see we put in the most volume right around this 52, 50, 3650s, let's call it. 52 half is the prior year low. The 2021 RTH low is coming in at 52 half. And that's what we've kind of put in the point of control. And value area high sitting right around that 3710-ish area. And the value area low sitting right around that 3600 number, which we've defended so many times last week especially. Now, if we narrow down this volume profile to just include October's numbers so far, let's see if we can get that going for you guys. There we go. Value area high for the month is exactly where we sold off on Friday morning. Value area low around these 33s where we did catch a bid pre-market. I believe it's 33.50 when the CPI numbers came out. That's exactly where we caught the bid. So that's obviously an area of interest as well. And again, the point of control maintaining right at that 51 half. And again, let's narrow that again to just last week's trading. And you can see the point of control coming a little bit higher at that 3600 number. Value area low in this same area, value area high around that, interestingly, right around that mid-50s number. So now let's just see all those at once. So let's pull up the October number here, and let's pull up since we fell into this balance here. And you end up with that point of control right around the 50s. This past week, the point of control moved down. Value area high from this week, right at that mid 50 area, that mid 3600 area, and the value area high on the month and this entire balance zone, right around those low 3700 numbers. So hopefully that gives you an idea how generally I'm looking at this 3500 to 3800, let's call it, zone, this churning area that we're sitting inside of. Now, the reason I've made this 3650 our pivot is because we've done the most volume here, but also interestingly now, because it is our weekly value area high, if we manage to break 3650, I want to see, can we take out the monthly VWAP and can we break over these highs and re-enter this balance? If we do re-enter the balance, I wouldn't be surprised if we spend a day or two here churning before deciding if we really are going to break these highs, start getting into 3900s, maybe even the 4000s. However, what I think is a little more likely is we come up and we visit the 3650s, maybe even the 3670s, and we do fall back inside a value area and this huge point of control that we've developed the last few weeks, and eventually break the bid right around 3601 where we had our last week's POC and come into this 3500 area. Now, I would be surprised if we do get one dramatic sell-off in one session, like we did have during the CPI number release. I think we'll need to spend some time churning within this 3500 to 3580 area and building volume. And if we do, I think we can visit that possibly the pre-COVID all-time high sitting at 3393.75. 34.9650, also an area of interest, the bottom of this zone. That just being the COVID low to the all-time high, just the half back from that area. So 34.9650 to 33.9375. I think both of those areas have a high probability of tagging sometime this week. For a better idea of what I'm saying, let's zoom out to this higher time frame view And again, I wrote this in the beginning of October. I was saying that sellers are likely to tag that 3,300 area, that mid 3,300 to mid 3,400 area. But again, I'm doubtful we get into the 3,100s. I think that's it's a little bit aggressive to expect that. But I do think we will get some sort of aggressive flush into the end of the year where we will then have a ramp up, and then after that, who knows what will happen. It's a little bit higher time frame than I focus on. But for this week coming up, I will be looking at this 3651 area as a pivotal area. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little choppy trading inside of roughly, honestly, from 3625 to about 65 or so. I think this might be a choppier area, and I'd be a little bit hesitant to enter trades, just because this is an area where the market is going to be. You're playing around where all this volume has built up, both on the month and since the end of September. And I think this will be the area where the market's trying to decide if we do ramp up another couple hundred points, or if we reject it and we come back into the lows and we sell off further. Now this video is getting a little bit long, but I hope that makes sense. There shouldn't be too many changes to the numbers given. Overall, what I would look for is to try and give Monday or Tuesday to give a sense of direction as to where we're going, and kind of go with the direction of that trend. If we break the 3650s, I would if we break the 50 to 75 area, I would be hesitant on the short side. I would expect us to get up towards these 90s, the 3780 to 90 area, 80 to 3800, honestly. And similarly, if we break the lows, I'd be hesitant catching knives. I'm aware that you might find a bid around 3657 or 33 half or 0675. I'm aware there might be some great short cover bids to take advantage of, but I would rather be trading in the direction of the trend. Let those bids occur and then fall, and then take the shorts off those areas instead. So again, I would let Monday and Tuesday give a sense of direction as to whether we're breaking the 3600 area, or if we're breaking the 3675 area, and then trade in the direction of that trend until we get to about 3800 or the 3512-ish area. Hope that helps. If there are any changes or updates to this, they will be posted to Twitter. The link to that is in the bio, of course. And have a great week.